Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ruben Spicer. We are back at it again with a catch-up. Another week for Manchester United fans, another week of Manchester United not picking up 3 points again. Of course, it's been a bit different because, of course, it's been a new manager that's been announced. And, of course, we've got an interim manager of Ruben Fernandes, who's currently overseeing the team. So, again, we're still seeing the same lackluster performance that we've seen from the team. The lack of goals is just clearly just not there. Although we beat Leicester 5-2 in the Carabao Cup, when it came to the Premier League, the bread and butter, Manchester United capitulated and folded. A lot to talk about. We've got Bruno's apologies to talk about. We've got the match against Chelsea 1-1. And, of course, the new appointment of Ruben Amorim. We've got the guys in the background. Let me just introduce you then. For first of all, make sure you guys subscribe to Red United TV. Smash that like button for those who are watching on playback as well. And of course, follow Red United TV on Instagram, which is Red United TV1, and follow everyone else that's on the stream. Let me introduce you guys to the panel. Everyone is here. And we've got Jerome. Whoa, Jerome, you and your washing machine noise, bro. Turn off your washing machine. And of course,
yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. No, I'm joking. I'm just gonna close the door. Be back in a sec.
And of course, Moses as well is joining us today. Moses, has been a long time. Big up Moses as well. Hope you're well. You know, Moses, we'll start off with you when we get your overall thoughts of the match, because of course you haven't been on for a very long time. But big up to everyone that's tuning right now. Smash that like button. We've got so much to talk about. We've got the match. Let's get straight into it, because of course it is Manchester United 1, Chelsea 1. Manchester United again, guys. Struggling to score goals. Certain men's like Garnacho, who happened to let us down, Rashford as well, and Rasmus Højlund, and even Xerxes didn't perform to their absolute best. With Manchester United taking the lead with a penalty, I believe, in the second half, to then straight away, they don't even allow the scoreline to marinate. They don't even allow it to just let you enjoy the moment, but concede straight away. Typical United style, just unable to keep a lead and concede by Caicedo 2 or 3 minutes later after we scored that goal. And then from there, it looked like Chelsea were the better team. Another good results. Manchester United still sitting in page 2 of the Premier League for those who are watching, sitting currently 13th, but at least we've climbed up from 14th to 13th. So some good things, some good positive news for you guys. But let's start straight away. Moses, man, let's get your overall thoughts about the game against Chelsea, 1-1.
Yeah. Well, firstly, it's good. It's good to be back on the show. It's been a minute. Lots happened. A lot's happened since I was on here last. But yeah, the game yesterday was. Do you know what? I'm trying to be optimistic about it. It's frustrating the fact that we were, like you said, we were leading like deep into the second half, and then we throw it away. We throw it away again, and it's just a mentality issue, really, for me. I don't think we played that badly, especially against a team like Chelsea who are in good form, playing well, like the dispatching of teams. I'm trying to look at it positively, and I think we put up a battle, we put up a fight, and it's much. I think if it was Ten Hag, we probably would have lost that game. But the fact that we took the lead and even held up towards the end, I think Martinez was lucky to not get sent off. But I think we just don't take our chances, and like there's so many times in games where we feel we're looking good, we're looking positive, but we never capitalize. And I think that's I think one of the main areas that Amorim's got to get more out of this team. He's got to learn how. He's got to get us scoring goals and finishing our chances. We've got a young team, but it feels like we're just wasteful. Like Ten Hag would probably still be in a job if we took our chances against West Ham. So I think it says it all. It's been an issue for a long time, and yeah, we got to find Amarim's got to find a solution and get us scoring.
Interesting if Amorim can find that solution. I'm going to go to you straight, Ems, and let me get your overall thoughts of that game against Chelsea, the 1-1 draw, 1 point.
That was a pub game, bro. Shocking, terrible. That's meant to be an advert for the Premier League. That was horrible, horrible football, horrible footballers. It's horrible. Like we spent what £616 million on that. Ah, this driver was poor. He was poor. I can't even elaborate more on the game. It was poor. Bro, I don't. How do you let this man sign these players, bro? The more I see it, the worse it get. I don't get it. These men are dead, bro. We don't score goals, bro. We don't score goals.
No.
I saw in the stats there. What was it? 10 games, 9 goals. That's below average. That's shocking.
Less than a goal a game.
It's poor, bro. It's poor. But real talk though, the new manager's got a lot to do. He's got to do. Man ain't got to fix one problem. Man's got to fix 3 problems, bro. Attack, midfield, and defense. I mean another rebuild, fam. Imagine we've done 12 years of rebuilding, fam. That's bad. I can't laugh. Hey, you have to laugh, bro. I can't even get angry. You have to laugh. That is shocking. Yeah. But obviously, we got a point. We move on, and hopefully, is it Leicester after the Europa League game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Leicester at home or away?
That I don't know. I'm not too sure.
All right.
Well, it's at home. Leicester at home.
Well, is it? Well, I would say we're Man United Football Club. We should win, but it's Man United now. But yeah, we've got the point. Let's move on and get this new man in after international break. And yeah, man, that's all I can say.
Yeah, start again.
And Jerome, what about you, man? You watched the highlights, of course.
I literally watched the highlights just before the show, and honestly, I can't remember what happened. Really, that's how uneventful it was. Even though I watched it in less than an hour ago. But first half, from what I can remember from the highlights, it was a pretty even game. Probably Chelsea shaded it. Obviously, they got a stronger midfield than us, so they're more or less controlling that midfield. We had some good odd spells from what I saw, but it just seems that we can't put a string of passes together. Once it gets to like the third or fourth pass, it just gets blocked off or misplaced pass, and we have to defend again. That we just give the ball away too easily. That's what I saw from the first half. We look more energized and sort of raring to go. Certainly a lot more than what we would have done under Erik Ten Hag, but there was a big lack of quality in our team, as what Em said, from the money that we spent, and it just didn't look like we were going to score. Like from that first half, we would have just looked at it and thought, yeah, this is probably going to end 0-0. Mm-hmm. Chelsea didn't really play that well, even though they looked like the more structured side. that knew and understood each other more. You could just tell. We were still looking like a bunch of strangers and a bunch of individuals just trying to do their own thing. So it was a very uneventful first half. Then it kind of livened up a bit in the second half. I remember we had some good sort of half chances. I remember Garnacho had a good clear chance on a breakaway when Bruno passed it to him. All he had to do was just place it in. Really, it wasn't really a difficult shot to take, but he sort of just scuffed it and he just went straight into the keeper. And that's just the story of Garnacho's season so far. Like I've just seen him just taking wide shots or misplacing passes or shooting wildly and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the pattern of the game. And then towards the end, Bruno looks lively. He had a chance, and through a lack of composure, he just skied it up into the stands. You thought usual Bruno playing NFL again, and yeah, we just didn't look like we were going to score. As Moses said, Martinez was lucky to escape a red. They gave him a yellow, and obviously it was a good pass from Casemiro for the goal. It looked like Coylan miscontrolled it, chased after the ball, got to it first before Sanchez, and then obviously won the penalty. There was a well-taken penalty from Bruno, and then you thought, yeah, might just try to see out this game 1-0, because Chelsea didn't really look like they were going to score, and then it was a moment of magic from Caicedo. That was a great volley. The technique was good. He hit cleanly, and yeah, for once we can't blame the goalkeeper for not saving that, because that was a clean hit. And I think he went through one of the Chelsea keeper's legs as well. So Anana's sight would have been affected a bit as well. And then when it was 1-1, it didn't look like anyone was really going for it, really. And it just kind of petered out into a 1-1 draw. Chelsea had a couple of openings, but didn't look really that threatening. And before the game, I would have taken a draw. But with the new manager, or the new interim manager, I would have thought that there would have been some sort of manager bounce and we would have beat Chelsea. But for some reason, it seems like this current squad, with Bruno's and Rashford as the main guys, there's no manager bounce. We didn't have it under Ralph. We didn't have it under...
I think just one game under Ralph, and then they went back to usual settings. The same thing with Rude, I would say. Yeah,
but when I mean by manager bounce, I mean like there's like 6-7 games where we're like playing great football and we've just totally transformed. But it seems like with this team, it's just like you have one performance and that's it.
Yeah, had it in Ollie. Ollie's the last time I can remember.
But that with Ollie, that was a different team altogether.
Yeah,
that Bruno went there.
But I think this was. I think we're so bad that this is a bounce.
Literally, yeah.
This is the bounce.
This is the bounce.
This is the bounce.
Literally, because we probably would have lost if Erik Ten Hag was still in charge. But the bottom line is our new manager bounce is virtually non-existent, and Amorim's got a massive job on his hands. I don't know what if I was him, I would consider taking a job.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Well, he's gonna need years to sort this out.
Bro, is there a stronger word than massive, bro? There's gotta be a bigger word than massive, because there was. I'll use that word because massive ain't even
astronomical.
Yeah.
It's like turning the Titanic crew, boy.
This goes from the moon to the sun. That's how much of a job it is. It's too much.
We still haven't had that proper open heart surgery yet.
Yeah,
bro.
And you know what? I think that this fan base, they need to make sure that they give Amorim a lot of time, because this is not his team. And this team don't score goals or create chances.
The one thing I would say about Man United fans, though, we have been we give our managers time.
Yeah, we do.
Like it takes a while for us to turn on them, but when it happens, when we go, we've gone. Like,
agreed.
And it takes a long time for our board to sack them as well.
To take the initiative.
And it takes a long time for us to hire one, because look at that. And again, we will talk about that later. Let's not get into it right now. Yeah. But in terms of Jerome, in terms of players, man, who impressed you, who didn't? I know Garnacho didn't.
Yeah. Garnacho definitely didn't because he's just all over the place. And but I think Mazraoui was good for what I saw. De Ligt was as well. I think mainly our defense was that I ain't got no complaints about our defense. Casemiro was okay. But overall, individually, it was fairly average. So I would say probably De Ligt and Mazraoui stood out for me. And
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't nothing really to shout out about for stand-up performances, but yeah, I'll probably refer to those two.
And the rest of you guys, which player impressed you or which player didn't impress you? Of course, I'm sure Rashford probably want to talk about Bruno Fernandes again, another performance where he just scored a penalty and that's it. And
I don't know, man. I know you, man. I know I'm probably walking into the pit of fire.
yeah, you walk into the pit but you're allowed to. You have your opinion. You're here to back your chat. Unlike certain people, they can't come on camera and talk about their favorite player.
Yeah, I think for me, like Bruno is probably our most consistent player, and that's not saying a lot, like admittedly. But for me, he's the one player in our team that's constantly he's always at it. He's always like looking to try and create chances for us. I think for me, like even that ball he played to Rashford, even when Rashford had that chance, like stuff like that. Like I think, yeah, I know he's not been up to his standards and that, but I think Bruno's probably our best performing player most weeks. So I just want to start with that. But yeah, I think Mazraoui has to be playing on the left. I'll let you guys respond to that as well. On that. I think Mazraoui.
We're queuing up.
Go on, Mazraoui.
Yeah.
Mazraoui on the left. I thought when we were buying Mazraoui, we were buying him to be left back cover before Dalot was left back cover. I didn't like the fact that Mazraoui came in, started right back when Dalot. Like it just seemed like it was too much change. Mazraoui on the left makes a lot of sense because he's good on the ball. He can come in on his right foot, and I think he's got more chance of getting down that side as well. I don't think Dalot was even. I didn't see Dalot overlap at any point when he was playing left back. So when you see him playing on the right, he had that chance against was it Leicester? Who do we? West Ham, yeah. Like he's getting into that position, but there were a couple chances where you had Dalot on that right side, he gets up. Anyway, back onto Mazraoui, I think he looked calm and composed. I liked De Ligt as well. De Ligt's been impressing me. He's been kind of quietly going about his business, but yeah, apart from that, there's not much. Garnacho, I think that was a bad day at the office for him. He had a couple of chances where he's just got to do better. And if you see Casemiro just slating, like going at him after he loses the ball and he has to take that yellow card. So I think, yeah, I think Casemiro is looking more of a player. I don't know what's happened to him this season. He's looking a lot more mobile. His performance is a bit better. But yeah, Casemiro did well. I think he was. Yeah, him and Agate were good at times, but you could tell they haven't played together much.
Yeah, man. And Ems, did you want to go before I go?
Can I interject? Right.
You can interject.
Listen, this Bruno thing, right? I get it. No, I get it, but it's like I know he wants to influence because he's a good player in a bad bunch. Because when he's got them quality Portuguese man ain't there like that. You know what I mean? And as for Rashford, my patience is done, bro. You know what I mean? 27-year-old man moving like he's 17. Like it's mad. It's crazy. Garnacho, I'm gonna cut him a little slap because people have to understand the man's 20 years old. One, for two, man's been overplayed, bro. Why man playing 90 minutes, man? Are they trying to break him? Yeah, it went for certain scrubs paying for flipping Mason Mount, never here. He won't be playing these amount of games, fam. Nah, man, I can't. Bruno, nah. Bro, I'm tired of these players, bro. I don't even have a favorite Man United player, you know. I haven't had one for 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you're allowing that to like. He's our best player, Bruno.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
He's our best player. And he's the one like I think him upon like I don't know if we're going on to that in a second, but I think he's probably one of the players that can hold his head high.
Moses, do you enjoy watching Bruno Fernandes play for Manchester United for a whole 90 minutes, or do you like pull your hair out?
When we win, I like it. But when we don't, it's.
So we're not winning that often.
When we're doing well, Bruno is like one of my favorite. Like he's like one of the best players in the world. But then when he's not, it's like the drop off in performance is so dramatic. And the petulance just gets some, like, it can rub you up the wrong way. But I mean, who cares, innit? I don't know. I kind of see a lot of myself in Bruno, innit? Like, that's how I'm feeling when I'm watching Man United games. I would slash it. I would shout at everyone. So at least he cares, man. At least he cares. He's not been getting these managers sacked.
Yeah.
I agree. I think out of all the attacking players, him and Eriksson probably the only two I can say around. They weren't playing for another manager to get sacked. But what I will say is, right, certain man, not gonna name names, have seen about 5 managers come and go, and certain man are still here, bro. So them certain man, not gonna name names, I might not be talking about Bruno anyway, but certain man need to vacate because they've been part of the bad smell. I've had enough. And certain man that are fit for England, but all now I don't see him play, and I'm hearing about setback and more setback, bro. It's just what it's getting out of hand, bro. And then you know what the maddest thing is, right? Not gonna mention his name because he will get me angry, right? If you put him in a transfer, he's gonna pay him the wages for one, even pay a transfer fee. That man like him need to leave. I'm tired.
But time is saying name names. You're lying down. You know, you're lying down, relaxing. Just name them. You're comfortable, bro. Man,
Half
time is saying just name Luke Shaw. See, I knew it. I knew it was Luke Shaw.
The scrub.
Can you imagine?
Marcus Rashford. Flipping Fernandes, I allow him.
Fernandes, didn't tell you something about Bruno Fernandes. I can accept Bruno Fernandes for the nonsense he does because he gives us GAs. The others have no reason to get a backing. You know? Rashford, Luke Shaw, all the other scrubs. They don't deserve a backing. Maguire, they don't deserve. But Bruno's the only player that can say, you know what? I can take your bullshit because your bullshit comes with some goodness. And the goodness is sometimes a goal or an assist. But I wish the erraticness of him, the way he plays, reduces it. I hope Amorim can deal with that and instruct him as well to be more calm. Don't be too passionate. You're just emotionally unstable at times when you're on the pitch and you're captain. You're the captain of Manchester United. Galvanize the team. Motivate players. Be like Casemiro and shout at man's properly. Not moan. I don't say moan. I said shout at the players.
Bro, in his defense, bro. Certain man ain't good, fam.
No, I know certain man.
That's the reality, bro. You got certain man living off 2 seasons or 30 goal a season. A man thinks it's enough for him to play like this level. Nah, bro. At this rate, he will never play for England again, bro. I'll be honest with you. He ain't never done. He's finished. He's actually finished, bro. But he's alright though. 350 grand a week though. It's alright though.
Yeah, Rashford thinks he's made it, innit? So he thinks that he's part of the elite tier of players that doesn't have to like track back, work hard, or prove themselves to anyone. And you can see that attitude on the pitch week in, week out. And like you guys said, he's been under 5 managers. I just think if Amorim wants to be at Man United for the long haul, he needs to talk to Ineos and tell them straight, all the underperforming players over the last few years, they need to go. Do what Maresca did at Chelsea. He came into Chelsea and said, you're not part of my plans, and I don't mind if you're earning 300k a week. You can sit on the bench. You need to find yourself a club, a new club. We need to do something like that because I don't know if these managers have control over that, but if they don't, then they're already doomed before they even come into the job. Because we've seen already, we've got enough of a sample size over the last few years to be like, for example's sake, Rashford, I'll put Bruno in there. So obviously Bruno's a trier, but he's not the answer long term. You've got players like Casemiro, he's not part of the long-term future. You've even got like players that we've just bought in recently that are not the answer. Hoyland, the jury's still out on Xerxes, Garnacho, all these players that we're hoping that are going to come good. We just have to be real. They're not good enough for Man United, and it's showing. We scored 9 goals in 10 games. That's averaging less than a goal a game. Considering the money spent, and we've got teams like Brentford that have scored more goals than us since ETH was manager of the club, and that's a disgrace in itself because Brentford have only been in the Prem for like 3 years. So there's a lot for Amorim to consider. Because as I said earlier about this new manager bounce thing, it don't exist at this club because we just don't have the quality. We could put in the effort levels, but at this level, putting the extra 10% effort is not enough. You need actual quality, and it's lacking. And it might sound like I'm picking on Garnacho, but he's not going to be the next Ronaldo. So I think we need to lower our expectations on that, because we had our hopes high for players like Januzaj and that guy that scored the goal against Villa in third. Makeda.
You go too far, bro. He's not.
No, I'm not going to trust me. Trust me.
Makeda and Januzaj.
But we had high hopes for them, just like we do for.
Well, I wouldn't say Makeda. I'll be honest. I'll say Januzaj.
Yeah, I think
Januzaj.
Januzaj. Not Makeda, not Federico Makeda.
I'm just giving an example of young players that we had high hopes for, because
probably Giuseppe Rossi was another player that we had.
Had high hopes for these youngsters.
You're not impressed,
but obviously because we had an established winning team, it didn't really matter if they didn't make it or not. But now we're an underperforming side. We're putting extra pressure on these players that shouldn't even be starting. So hopefully next summer we can get the transfer window right. And these players that I've just mentioned can sit on the bench and hopefully be replaced by better players to help us compete. Because in our squad, as it is now, it's not going to compete for major trophies. We're getting excited about beating a reserve team, Leicester, in the League Cup. People are saying that our new manager box we're back, and we beat Barnsley and scraped over the line against Brentford. We're not beating, with all due respect, we haven't beaten any decent side this season. And any decent side that we face has just pammed us at Old Trafford.
Can I just stop you? Can you let me? Sorry, Moses, say what you have to say so I can change the topic.
I was like, let's just see what the score is when we play Leicester in the league. When it really matters.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, because Leicester put their reserve team out. They didn't care about the League Cup. So we'll see when it matters.
Yeah, Bath Time says that when you go through the who let Erik Ten Hag down, I don't think Bruno is in that list, is he? And speaking of Bruno Fernandes, moving on to the second segment of the show, Bruno Fernandes spoke to Sky Sports themselves after the game, and he happened to say this: we all know that when the manager leaves, everyone is involved. Fernandes told Sky Sports, but the only one that pays, because it's easier to get rid of the manager than 10 or 15 players. Bruno went to say, I spoke with the manager and I apologized to him. If there was something I could have done better for him, that I feel really disappointed that he's gone. But what remains with me was he feels that I always gave everything and I tried to help him in any way possible. Obviously, I wasn't scoring goals, and that's a big thing for me and for the team. We're not scoring many goals, and I feel also a big responsibility on that, because I'm normally a player that scores a lot of goals and gives a lot of assists, and it was not coming. Bruno said as well, I feel disappointed on that, but I always give my 100% to help him, and the main thing is that he is aware of that, and it's something that at least I can keep in my head. Rekin also said, after Bruno said that, a little too late. Listen, there are always awkward interviews, but I wouldn't have much time and patience for a player to say, listen, sorry, we let you down. Too little, too late. You're judged by what you do on the football pitch, and I don't think Bruno has done enough in a lot of games where he didn't show that leadership. So it'll be interesting to obviously hear what Ten Hag had to say about that. But you also have to move on. And of course, Bruno apologizing for his performance and telling the manager that he's sorry if he didn't do anything what he could have done that could have helped him. He apologizes. It's a bit strange that players are coming out saying that they apologize. Because if you're saying sorry now, bro, it's too late, bro. I got sacked already. You know what you could have done to help me? Win games, score goals. It's too late. Thoughts on Bruno apologizing to Erik Ten Hag? Let's start with you, Moses, because you're probably for the for case, and we're probably against case.
Yeah, look, I mean, Bruno's not. He's right. He's not been hitting the levels that we used to see him with Bruno, or at least in the first 2 seasons he was at United. Anyway, I think his goals have kind of dropped off a little bit, but he's still getting those assists. I think with Ten Hag, since he's been captain, He, like I said before, he's been our best player. He's been our most consistent player. Even though I might not be saying a lot in terms of like who he's playing with and the performances they put in, I think Bruno is probably the one player that doesn't need to apologize. There are other, like he can always perform better, but I think in the team that he's in, I think the weaknesses of the structure, like just any issues that arise out of like players being injured or players having to move out and to put into different positions, like you see like a drop off. But I think with Bruno, I think he's always tried to find a way of coming through. Like he's never like, I don't know, he's not like a Rashford where his head goes down and then he disappears out of the game for like 20 minutes or whatever. I think Bruno is, he's the captain, so he's got to apologise on that. From that perspective, I guess he's apologising more for the squad and for his own performances this season. But yeah, I don't really think he needs to apologise because it's not. You apologise for making like a lack of judgment or a mistake. Like I think his heart was always in it, and he always fought for Ten Hag, and he's always fought for all the managers. Man, he never throws in the towel. So I hear where he's coming
from when he got sent off against Liverpool.
And against Spurs and
that's when he threw the towel in. He was purposely getting booked.
Wait, was that?
You know when we lost 7-0 when he got sent off? You know how he tried to get
No, he tried to get substituted. They thought he wanted to get substituted. They weren't sending off.
He bottled it against Liverpool. He tried to get a yellow card to even miss the game as well when he heard Liverpool was coming. I remember these things that Bruno does, you know. I don't forget the little things, you know. I'm like a woman. I always remember when I get hurt.
That's the thing. Bruno fans will conveniently miss those stuff out.
Yeah, but like, if you're looking at the squad, looking at the players in that team, he's not the person I'm pointing the finger at first. Like, sure, his performances, you could get more goals, more assists, but like, there's so many other defective parts of our team that like, and other players in that squad, man. Like Diogo Dalot this season. I know people have been like raving about him, but Diogo Dalot this season, defensively, has been
suspect.
He's been an enemy to the team, man. His concentration just doesn't seem to be there the whole game, and he gets caught out, especially when he was playing left back. He gets caught out quite a lot.
I think that left back he's not comfortable with, and it's strange to the manager should know that. Mazraoui is more comfortable on the left because he's played there several times compared to Dalot. Play your players in their preferred position where they can perform. And guys, as well, it's very unusual for players who apologize to the media, to the manager after they got sacked. Because I've never heard of this before. It never really happens too tough. Quite brave, quite honest as well from Bruno. Let me get your thoughts, Ems or Jerome, on Bruno's apology to the manager. And as well, Ray Keane saying it's too late.
Yeah, I think, I agree. I didn't hear what Keane said. Obviously, I didn't watch the full game. But, yeah, I think just too much talking. As Evra said, we've got a lot of politicians in our team. Times have changed. Just every time there's a poor performance or there's a sacking, someone has to go on Instagram or X and put out a statement or some sort of monologue of their performances haven't been good and they'll improve on the next one. I'm so sorry. We'll try our best next time. All of this stuff, fans don't want to hear that. They just want to hear you're talking on the pitch. There's just too much talk and no action, and especially from players that have been underperforming for the last 18 months. We don't really want to hear from them. We just want to see them performing on the pitch. And I know Keane said he doesn't rate Bruno as a captain anyway. I'm not going to be too hard on Bruno because he does try. Like, he's one of the hardest working players in the squad, but he's always been a player that doesn't, my opinion, he doesn't play for the team. Like, he affects the team structure. Like, all this running around, pressing on his own, like a headless chicken, and coming out of position and leaving the team open. That doesn't get talked about enough. People just talk about his GAs and stuff, but because he's not disciplined, it has an adverse effect on the team. And I think the best we saw of him was when he was under Oli playing counter-attacking football. But because the team is trying to move away from that, that's why we're seeing the worst of Bruno, because he's not a possession-based footballer, and that's what we're trying to be. We're not trying to play in a small-minded mentality team that play counter-attack. We're trying to go out there and play on the front foot and play like what normal big clubs play like. So I think that's probably affected Bruno's performances. Although the effort levels are there, the quality level is lacking, and maybe he's just declining. Because, like I said, the best that we saw was lockdown Bruno. Since then, the stats have been deteriorating ever since, and not even just the stats, the actual in-game performances. But one thing I had to mention is that it's funny how Rashford was doing a lot of talking on Instagram, but when ETS got sacked, he said nothing at all.
Yep. I think he's the one that needs to be apologizing.
Yeah, he needs to be apologizing, because even during his poor performances, the manager was always playing him. So I don't know why he didn't come out and apologize, because I expected him, as a so-called poster boy, to come out and say something. But yeah, like I said, we just need to start performing on the pitch and stop doing all this politician stuff online.
You see, just quickly on Bruno still. You see, like the way he plays can be quite frustrating, because the way like he's a bit like a Beyblade. Like the ball comes to him and he just wants to release it straight away, and it's just like first time passes like going off in different directions. Like obviously we're playing as a counter-attacking team, or that's the way we seem to get the most out of these players anyway. Do you think Bruno in that system, or like Bruno just in our starting lineup, makes us a better or worse team in terms of like possession or even creating chances? Because I think there's a bit of an imbalance there with Bruno, because I think if you put him in a Man City team, you don't play like that. But I don't know if it's just.
I think if it's counter-attacking football, like Jerome said, it suits Bruno Fernandes so much, because we've seen him try to play in that possession-based style. He's incapable of keeping the ball. That's a problem.
Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't like to keep the ball. That's the thing.
The simple passes, the 5-yard passes is too hard for him. He likes the long range, one touch, one time passes. We can see in his game, he loves it. You know, even when the pass is not on, he still passes it. Like, we've seen that we forces it a lot, so we can tell. But you know what I said before? I always said these are all coachable. These are coachable things that you can coach into the player. It's whether the player takes the instructions or not. That's what's really important. Can Bruno take the instructions of Ruben Amorim to keep the ball, and retain possession, and not just hoof ball, play hot potato football? No, we're trying to keep the ball. Would he listen to those instructions? Because at the same time, I also think our players are shit anyway. And they don't really help out Bruno in that kind of way, especially the forward as well. You know, they're not scoring the goals. Bruno is the architect, but he puts those balls in where he thinks Rashford's supposed to be there, and Rashford's not there, or Garnacho's not there. So there's a problem. It's the system as well. Let's see what happens when we actually have a proper system. Then we can see if Bruno really has a real problem with keeping the ball, or he actually can't do it. Because for Portugal, which I don't watch much of, I'm sure he does it. Because they're beating Luxembourg and San Minero 7-0. I'm sure he does it.
He's always coming back to international football with goals and assists, man. Like my phone's, but like I just see my Twitter notifications going mad about Bruno scoring goals in international breaks. He comes back to nothing.
Yeah, I just think, to be fair, that international football is a bit different to the Premier League. The Premier League, every game is difficult. Whereas in international, you could play teams that have got part-time players, and you don't even need to play your best. Like we see it with England, playing teams like San Marino and Liechtenstein, winning 5-6-0, and then they come back to their clubs and they look a totally different person. So the standards is definitely different. It's a big difference between the Premier League and international football. It's only when you get to the tournaments where you see a rise in standard and pressure. And correct me if I'm wrong, the last couple of tournaments, Bruno hasn't performed for Portugal. If someone can correct me.
That is true. In the international, the tournaments, like
the actual tournaments where it actually matters.
World Cup hasn't been the guy because of Ronaldo, of course.
Yeah, Portugal have been a bit there. They've underwhelmed the last couple of tournaments.
Let's move it on. Wait, have we haven't heard from you before we move on to the new manager?
No, I was just hearing what everyone was saying, but I think the apologies, it's too late, mate. I mean, I'm kind of like sick and tired of these Premier League footballers. We lose and they come out with these Instagram, sorry, we're gonna fight next time and next time and next time. It's bullshit, bro. Like, just do your talking on the pitch, bro. Just play the game. Show us that you want it, bro. That's all, bro. That's it. Like, you get me? You don't have to, as Roy Keane said, bro. He may not have liked certain managers, but bro, he played for the club, bro.
Yeah.
Passion, desire, hunger, dedication, professional. You get me? So all this, I said sorry, and all this is like garbage because
Yeah.
we're gonna see this again and again. Like, hopefully, we give the manager all the tools he needs, and whoever we need to get rid of, whether they're certain man's fans' favorite or not, we gotta back him and get rid of them, bro. Because mate, some of these man, bro, have we wait the last have we ever challenged for the Premier League title? Not win it, challenge. I don't think we have.
We haven't challenged since Fergie retired. We haven't challenged for the
Wait, that's not fair. You're discrediting Ole Gunnar
Okay.
Solskjaer, who finished second,
What,
and
Ole?
Jose Mourinho that finished second. They may have
Oh,
not
like,
challenged.
what?
Bro,
they were-
19 points.
They were like 15, 20 points off top.
Just
They ain't
saying.
challenging for the Prem.
You're
That was just being
discrediting
the best. That's like being the second best of a bad bunch.
and also Jose Mourinho finished second. Respect.
The season that was when Man City had 100 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we got like 81 or something.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think the club. As much as I didn't like Mourinho's football, I think the club done him dirty. Like, man got them second. And man what did he get? Dalot, Grant, and who's the other fella?
Fred.
Bro,
yeah.
come on. How is them three signings gonna get us close to City?
Yeah,
The club messed up, bro.
you know when he started playing,
That's Woodward, didn't it?
Yeah, Woodward. I think Woodward had enough of him in it. They thought that this guy needs to be put down a peg or two.
You see, when we started playing teams like Liverpool, we started putting 6 at the back towards the end.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was Mourinho saying, "This is the best I can do with what you've given me." Like, it's fully sabotaging, like cutting his nose off to spite his face.
Yeah.
Just trying to prove a point, being like, "You man didn't back me."
Yeah, you can't do that in your third season.
Yeah, well, the managers have just happened to the. But I get it though, because it's a repeating trend at United. They ain't learning. Well, hopefully they are now, but the managers that they're picking and not backing them, I don't know. I feel like
I think Ten Hag was given everything, bro. Even the mansion on top, bro.
Ten Hag, he was the most backed.
Man signed Eredivisie players, fam. It's all crazy to me, bro. I don't know what the club was playing at.
For at a premium as well. Like,
he's
not getting any in the snip.
You know, put it this way, Erik Ten Hag catfished all of us.
Yep,
we thought we was getting Ajax ball, and he came in after 2 games. Man abandoned his whole principles.
I said, I can't do this.
So with Amorim, I'm confident. I'll put my neck on the line that he's going to stick to his principles.
Okay, let's see this.
I'm going to put my neck on the line.
Let me just say, before you go, let me read this comment and then you go, and then I introduce Amorim in. Amorim is more of hoofball than possession from what I've seen at Sporting. I don't know if he comes in with the exactly the same style at United, but it's not what I was expecting. Ems, finish off before I move on to the new manager.
Hey Jay, I remember you were saying something similar with ETH, bro. I remember last season. I remember. I remember. I was
ETH out last season.
Don't lie.
Done.
Don't lie.
Remember I said last season he catfished us.
No. You did. I'm pretty sure in the ETH system, XYZ, XXI, YY.
No, that wasn't me. That was someone else. That was somebody Depths.
That's how Depths, bro. But yes, guys, let me move it on to the next topic. Of course, for those who are watching, make sure you smash that like button, share across all social media platforms as we're coming close to the end of the show. Final segment. Of course, Manchester United finally announced the new manager straight away after Erik Ten Hag got sacked on Monday. By Friday, Manchester United have announced their new manager, which means it was already in works. It means they already discussed who the potential candidate could be before Erik Ten Hag. So I know that meeting that they had in London, the emergency meeting, must have been, we're going to have to sack this guy one day, this egghead, this bald-headed fraud. And who is it going to be? We're going to make him think that he's got the job, everything is safe. One little bad result, yeah, he's out. And West Ham was the final straw. The final straw. They said, you know what, Bundes? It wasn't Fenerbahce. It was West Ham that they said, nah, go. So they sacked him. Ruben Amorim, the Sporting manager, has been hired to become the first team head coach at Manchester United in the new regime at Ineos. Man United are modernizing the club. Man United made an announcement that Manchester United are delighted to announce the appointment of Ruben Amorim as head coach for the men's first team, subject to work visa requirement. Of course, guys, the guy has to fulfill a notice period, which Manchester United paid an extra €1 million for to reduce it to 7 days. Again, Manchester United fans, we always have to wait for things, and we're tired of it. Why can't it just happen right now? Manchester United said that he will join until June 2027 with a club option of an additional year. Once he has fulfilled his obligations to his current club, he will join Manchester United on Monday, the 11th of November, when everyone departs for international duty, which means there will be no one at the club, no one to perform his training methods. Do you see what I'm talking about when it comes to Manchester United? Can never get it bang on right. When you think it's too good to be true that we're going to do this ASAP, I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah, you got me right there. We have to wait. We have to wait. He has to serve a notice period. Never heard of that shit before, but it is what it is. They said Ruben is the most exciting and highly rated young coaches in European football, highly decorated as both a player and coach. The title, including winning the Premier League twice, which means he broke that deadlock for Sporting Lisbon, who won their first title for the club the first time in 19 years. And of course, Ruben will continue to take charge until Ruben joins the club. Ruben Amorim is here. He will be joining on the 11th of November, guys. What's your thoughts on the acquisition or the new manager coming in?
Yeah, I'm excited. To be honest, I said before he was appointed that it was either him or Xavi. That obviously in the summer I wanted to Xavi, but obviously he went to Marseille. But those two that come with a philosophy, and hopefully can get us playing on the front foot is something that attracted me to them. So hopefully, as I said earlier, that Amorim could come in and stick to his principles and hopefully get the best out of this average bunch. Come in now and then assess them, and then obviously next summer make the necessary changes to get a stronger squad. Because we know that this current squad is not the answer. So I reckon it might be a blessing for him to come in November, mid-November, have a free shot, a free season really, just to sort out what he needs to sort out and assess the squad, and then obviously he can be judged properly next season. And I do agree. I think we were talking to him way before last week. Apparently, they started talking to him in the summer, and probably started speaking to him again after the Spurs game. I think from that Spurs defeat, I think that's when it was just like, we need to start looking now. This is not looking good, and obviously it just continued. But I think what delayed it is that he's come out and said that he didn't want to start mid-season. He wanted to start next season. And then they came out and said it's either now or never.
Yeah.
So I reckon
ultimatum.
Yeah. So it's possible. I might be wrong. Egypt's could have probably got sacked in the summer, but he just didn't have any manager that was available to start. Then maybe it's possible.
And of course, I'm very sure Ruben Amorim must have told them, "I would come to you, but not now. Next year, I want to spend one more season with Sporting."
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Because remember, he was talking to Ineos were talking to loads of managers in the summer.
And let's point out, Jerome, he rejected Liverpool. He was like, nah, didn't get to the West Ham. Man City are interested in him, but he chose Manchester United.
Definitely. And
that's the power.
I think as well, he's the one who brought for Agate. Because we know, I think it's established now that Agate was not an ETA signing. I actually believe that now. He hardly played him.
Yeah.
He hardly played him. And we chased him all summer and paid over the odds for him. So, I think that was made for Amorim, to be honest, that signing. So, I think the club wanted him all along. Egypt was always on borrowed time.
I like to think of it a bit differently, though, man. I like to think that maybe United or this summer weren't just giving Ten Hag free reign like they were in previous seasons. They were buying players for a certain style that they want to play regardless of the manager. That's just always going to be the style, the sporting direction for the club. And so I hope I'm a bit more optimistic in a sense that I think Amorim deserves to have time. He deserves to get the players that he wants. But also I want to see Amorim get more out of the players we have already. Like even though they've been playing badly, I don't think our squad is as bad as being 13th in the league. So I just want to see improvements, and that doesn't need to be. I mean, if you're a good coach, you don't just need to like a bad workman blames his tools, innit? Like a coach shouldn't be looking at that Man United squad and be like, "No, I need to buy bare more players." You should be looking at that Man United squad and be like, "I can get with a few tweaks, just some training sessions, we should be able to get more out of this team." But then also, like as you were saying, Spice, like United getting the paying €1 million for the reduction in the
notice period, the 30-day notice period.
But then there's an international break of what, like a week and 2 weeks or whatever. What's the point, bro? Like he's gonna be working with like Rashford.
And Luke Shaw with Velasquez in the treatment room.
I just remembered.
He's gonna get used to, like, he'll be chilling with Luke Shaw, Rashford, all of them. To be fair, the players that aren't on international duty, I'd probably say the players that need to be with Amorim the most. The ones that can't get into their international team. So this will be a good thing, and the players who can actually get called up for their national teams come back with some confidence, and Bruno will probably get a hat trick, 10 assists, and come back and then stink it out for us until whatever, man. But no, Amorim I'm excited about. He seems like he's actually a Man United person. Like he wants to be the Man United job manager. Like he's a man. He hasn't said it, but I'm assuming he's a Man United supporter because he said, "Look, the only Sporting this is the only other club I want to manage."
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this guy's in demand. We've still got this pull on people. Like
we always do.
Yeah, but it surprises me because it's been 11 years we've not been relevant.
I'm telling you right now, if Man United told me to dump my woman and come to Manchester United and work for us and we'll pay you good money, I'll do it straight in a heartbeat, bro. I'm out, bro.
I hope you don't hear that.
I hope she hear that, bro, because I ain't gonna get anything if
no
dinner, bro, no dinner.
I've got expectations.
That pool is powerful.
I've got expectations for this season, though. Like I'm not like just like just give them time. I want to see performances. I mean, like, there needs to be something that's going to get me excited for next season because the season can't be this young and we're just like, next season.
Yeah. and the perfect thing about it, guys, we still have 28 more games to play in the Premier League. So the season is still young, and I'm glad that Manchester United pulled that trigger because Manchester United typically they'll let a season fail before they pull the trigger.
They'll the season's still alive. Yeah.
We'll wait till the Champions League's not possible, then get rid of them.
Exactly.
Firstly, what I like to say, right? I feel like you've got to give Barada and what's his name?
Wilcox
Dan Ashworth and Wilcox.
Ashworth. Ban Wilcox, bro. I don't think got nothing to do with this thing.
It's Beretta and Ashworth that went to travel.
Yeah, I give them credit because I've seen Man United get sacked, Man United managers get sacked, under Woodward, and man don't know what he's doing. Man's waiting till whatever. But these man got rid of this bald-headed man on Monday, which I was shocked. I was like,
I told you, bro. You cannot be the for Chelsea. I told you.
And then come Tuesday. I was about my man's flew to Portugal, but I was like, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Ruthless, bro.
They were plotting. They were plotting in the background. When we were all moaning that White Egypt still in charge, like, don't worry, lads. That we're working behind the scenes, man.
Working on it.
Because obviously, Barada started late, innit? He started late.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Ashworth started late. So obviously, I think what happened, right? If they would have started earlier, that boiled egg would have been sacked in the summer, fam. You get me?
You're right, I agree.
So obviously they probably thought, we don't have the footballing people in to make these whatever. So let's wait for them man to come in. But really and truly, they should have sacked this guy. The first international break. What would we have? Was it 2 points or something like that? I don't even know.
They were stupid,
Yeah, we was.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 points. 3 points in
beat Fulham and then lost to Brighton and Liverpool.
Yeah. So it should have been sacked then. But anyways, we move on to bigger, better things, and let's see what happens.
All right, then before we end the show, guys, let me get some final thoughts from you guys. I'm gonna start off with you, Moses. Do you have any final thoughts before we end the show?
Yeah, I think we've just got to try and get through this period with Ruud as manager, and just try and get as many points and try and get into as good a position as we can for Amorim. I'm excited about Amorim. I think he's He's an exciting manager. He's young. He's got everyone who talks about him always seems to be like saying like really, really, really impressive things about him. He seems like it's not taking him long to get things moving at all of his clubs. I think he came in at Sporting and they finished 4th. Next season they win the league. Like, not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm hoping he can have a similar impact on these players in terms of performances at the very least. So yeah, Amorim, I'm excited about him coming in. Curious about what the 3-4-2-1 is going to be looking like. I've got a few ideas in my head, but yeah, I'm excited to see that. A bit of a change, a bit of a revolution, but just not a revolution in the same way as LVG. I beg. Like, I don't want this philosophy thing to just start like killing games and making shit boring. 75% possession, 0-0. Like, I want exciting football back at Old Trafford, and hopefully, I've got faith in Amorim.
Yep, exciting football is what Moses needs, guys. For those who are watching, and of course, someone that is passion, that's got the passion and charisma, and is an excellent communicator. That's what they've described Ruben Amorim. Jerome, final thoughts for you before we end the show.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. I think we're bringing in a young, charismatic, forward-thinking, modern coach, and that's what I'm excited about. I think he's going to be someone that's going to stick to his principles as well, and I think it was a good change of direction from Ineos to change it to a head coach position, because what that means is that he would have to come in. Obviously, he would still like give his recommendations on players, but he would have to make the most of what he's got instead of coming in and saying, "I just want a new team." So he'd have to work with Ineos closely on shaping the squad, and I think that's a good thing, because under the Glazers, it was a bit like just random. Just I want this player, bring him in. I don't even know what style of football I want to play, but just bring him in. He looks like a good player. I think we're going to move away from that and stick to players that come into the philosophy that Wilcox wants to instill in the team. And I think that because Amorim is a good coach and he showed that through his time at Sporting, I think he can hopefully transfer that over to Man United, and we should be able to see a quicker change in direction in terms of style of play, because under ETH, we struggled to see what we were trying to do, and under Oli as well. But teams like Liverpool under Klopp and Arteta and Pep, you could see what they were trying to do, like within a short space of time. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that with Amorim as well. And if players can't do what he wants them to do, then just ditch them, bin them, tell them they need to dip. We can't just be living under this player power situation and just adapting to what the players want to do. The manager needs to like have some authority and say, "This is the way I want to play. If you can't play it, then leave."
And of course, Ems, final thoughts.
Mate, let's get the international break over. Let's see what man does. There's all this talking, bro. I'm gonna watch the Sporting game against Man City tomorrow. I'm gonna see what he does. Even though we don't have the cool players he has in Sporting at Man United, but let's see what man can do in it. You know what I mean? But for me, at least we can salvage the season. We're still in the Europa League. We're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the League Cup. We can still get 4th, which is very unlikely, but we can still get there. So let's see what my man can do. I know you can't turn water into wine, or is it wine into water, whichever you want to put it. But
water into wine, yeah.
Water to wine,
whichever way, you know what I mean. So we have to see what he can do. You know what I mean. And for once, I can actually listen to a press conference. You know what I mean? Because certain man, bro, I'm tired. I was draining my soul, man. I know English is not his first language, but I mean. Bro,
that's why Spurs did it. That's why Spurs rejected him. No charisma or personality.
You see Slot's English, bro.
Is he in a Rick Ross video or music track?
Rick Ross.
The Dutch Rick Ross, is that what you're saying? The Dutch Rick Ross, But yes, guys, and of course, guys, big up to everyone that's tuning in today. We're back next week, Monday, before we hit the international break for a little break for the catch up. But Monday we're back again. Hopefully, Manchester United will win their midweek game in the Europa League to finally get some 3 points and end up with 6 points in total out of 4 games. Hope we can do that and beat Leicester when it really matters. And Ruben Amorim has a fine start once the international break starts. Man, big up to every single one of you. Smash that like button, share across all social media platforms. I'm live again for the Europa League. I believe we'll play on Thursday. I hope it's a 7:30 kickoff. 8 p.m. kickoff, which means we'll start at 7:30 for the stream. Then, of course, this weekend against Leicester as well to watch. Now, make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow everyone here as well on all their social media platforms. Until we see you again. But guys, remember to keep it united. And remember to keep it Red United. Till next time, God bless. Peace, love. We'll see you next time.
Big up, people.